How is it going, YouTube? Malagant here. Been some time, it's been about like 5 days that I haven't made a video. As you probably know, I stopped playing Grim Dawn for a couple of days now. Incredibly hyped about that, the Path of Exile's new league that is coming up, the Legion. I just gained a follower on Twitch. How does that even happen? Um, that said, like, really hope you guys are doing fine. And it usually is not necessarily like the best thing to do to like shift content like this, even though Path of Exile is an ARPG as well. One thing that I would like you to know is this is like a chill exile now. That is just like the chill down. We're just chatting here. The goal of this video doesn't necessarily have like an exact point. Let's say there's not necessarily like an exact point. But just wanted to talk about like what is going on. It's usually not the best to like shift content like this, I know, but at the same time, Grim Dawn definitely has like a limited amount of content available. Even though I could actually like continue doing quite a lot of content for YouTube, especially, would like you to think about the fact that like I played Grim Dawn the past like 3 months non-stop on stream, almost every single day, for about like 98%, I would say. At the very least like 7 hours, and sometimes it's about like 13-14 hours. So it's a little bit repetitive, and at the same time I wanted to like check out the new league from the Path of Exile as well. When it comes to Path of Exile and me, I have been playing it for a really long time, but I'm not necessarily as good or as confident as I am in Grim Dawn. Definitely not, because I've done it for the most part, like not necessarily for the sake of content, so played it more casually, if you would like to say it that way. And on top of that, like I played it like on and off with various different characters, even though I didn't necessarily like min-max literally everything on like one guy or something like that. Definitely more experienced in some play styles than the others, that's for sure. But yeah, like this time is going to be just a little bit try harder, let's say, simply because of the sake of the content, so that like I can deliver something good, not only for the YouTube but also for the Twitch. And the Twitch is going to be incredibly difficult in my opinion. Like already, like real talk, already getting a very big hit on the viewership. But I'll grind, and I'll give my best, because like that is literally what I want to do. For the future, I do believe that like it's better to um, check out and have some sort of like a showing in Path of Exile as well, and at the same time that I should probably be doing what I would like to do and what I would like to play. Um, Not necessarily shifting it completely into like, I don't know, some sort of like an FPS game. But another ARPG should be okay. So we'll see like how this step is going to be, will be going. And on top of this, like I'd like to talk about maybe like what sort of content that I'm going to be coming up with. There has been patch notes. It was yesterday, and about these patch notes, I was actually like considering to make a video, but at the same time, there are very good videos out there. I watched a couple of them from different content creators. Um, I think the most hilarious one is the Ziggy D one, and it's definitely worth a check. It's about like a 9-minute video for you know what I mean. Like if I have made a video for those patch notes, I think it would have turned out to be like 3 hours or something. But joke aside, like just speaking about the patch that is coming up, like I decided not to make one, because like I want to get a little bit more comfortable when it comes to like Path of Exile content. Want to get a little bit more comfortable with the game, so I'm gonna give myself like a month. In the meantime, my content is going to be a little bit more about like the characters that I'm playing, what I'm trying to do, how's the league going for me, what I have learned so far when it comes to like the league tricks and stuff like that. And maybe my reps, because I have actually decided to play on Southbound Hardcore. I was thinking about like going for softcore Southbound. One thing about the Southbound is that like I definitely don't mind trading that much, but I hate trading on stream. I just don't necessarily enjoy tabbing out all the time, searching for an item for me, while I'm streaming. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm stressed out. People are waiting for me to like find this item and then, you know, whisper someone and it doesn't turn back. That kind of annoys me or something during the stream. So at the same time, I don't necessarily mind the source I found challenge either. So it's a good thing for me. I think it's going to be, you know, overall something good. But that said, like I've decided to go for hardcore as well, simply because it's going to be more content, just like I've said it on several times on Grim Dawn. The simplest reason that I'm playing Grim Dawn is to like take more hours from it. And when you die in hardcore, you know, everything you were carrying, including the character, dies and goes away. So um, that's going to be the case for Path of Exile as well, even though it's like being transferred to Standard League or something. Like it's not necessarily, it's not like I'm gonna continue playing it there, right? So I'll continue playing it in the league. Um, so apart from these, about the patch notes, um, even though this is not going to be like a video about the patch notes, just for the people that are like curious about what I think about the patch that hit, um, what I could say is that like for the most part, definitely looks interesting when it comes to like melee for sure. And what they're trying to do, basically like lots of attack speed, lots of melee range increase. So the melee is, you know, that there used to be a meme like really far away, how do you fix melee, make it range, something like melee thunder, even though it looks like a range attack. The same thing is kind of going on right now if you think about it. They're just adding bunch of like melee range and area of effect increase to like these area attacking melee stuff. And on top of that, like even the singlest target um, melee ability is capable of like, where, you know, attacking everything in front of it, or like the swing, uh, you know, the cone or whatever you would like to call it is going to be, you know, hitting everything inside that zone. Even though you're like hitting one monster, if there are like other monsters around it and your range is big enough, you'll be able to like hit everything with that single target ability. So there's no such thing as like almost single target ability anymore. It's kind of interesting. So they're removing that too. That's like, in my opinion, the biggest change. And on top of that, obviously there's some like very weird balance change stuff. It's like almost impossible to say what is going to be good. But what I'm gonna tell you is that like I have my eye on like the Blade Storm, the new ability that's coming up, the Cyclone, definitely. My eye on like the Glacial Hammer that I want to check out a little bit at the very least. Lacerate might actually turn out to be pretty interesting as well. That's another thing that I'll check out. And my bread and butter, Righteous Fire, I really enjoy playing that. I would like to check out some sort of like a Righteous Fire Chieftain at one point. We'll see. When it comes to the Ascendancy changes, I think Gladiator and the Slayer, they're like very interesting, especially the Slayer. Slayer was something that I've always incredibly fond of. I played multiple like different Cyclone characters. Some of them were Slayers. The 20% call is incredible. 20% call means that anything below 20% dies immediately, including the bosses. It feels amazing. And on top of that, there's this new node now over there, you know, the Overwhelm, which is incredible in my opinion. For hardcore, it brings a little bit survival as well. 30% minus crit strike multiplier definitely helps you out. Global accuracy rating, melee range increase with like about 50% increase area of effect as you kill, continuously kill stuff, which you will most likely. So map clear is going to be really fun. So that's sort of like how it looks basically. Impact, you know, Overwhelm and Bane Legends, like Slayer is most likely going to be like my go-to when it comes to like the Blade Storm and Cyclone. That's my expectation. But definitely like the changes to Chieftain and the Berserker is looking very interesting as well. I cannot necessarily come up with something good that I would like to try out on Berserker. Maybe something like a Heavy Strike or something, which I'm not necessarily that interested in. So I don't think I'm going to be having content about Berserker for any time soon, but Chieftain definitely, probably the Righteous Fire is going to be the one. That being said, I've been thinking about this way too hard, but the past couple of days, as I said, like I've been playing Path of Exile on and off, not necessarily like hardcore. At the start I was actually like a week ago or so. There was this like flashback event that was going on that was very fun for me to play, and it definitely helped me out to like get the groove of the game once again, for sure. That was like a good warm-up for me, and I ended up playing something called Winter Orb, such a surprise. Like apparently 1/3 of the entire game was playing this spell. Absolutely insane. It got gutted a little bit, it's nerfed, but like it was so overpowered, I'm guessing it's still going to be legit. But what I wanted to say is that like from the flashback events ending, I actually transitioned into trying to, you know, find out some sort of like a good build for myself that I can like start in solo self on hardcore, and I can depend on this character to build up to it, like let's say red maps at the very least, and then form some sort of like, you know, stable stash, build up some sort of like a map pool, some sort of like a currency, a good leveling, um, in the shortest amount of time, let's say. So I don't necessarily feel that like I'm going to be comfortable starting blind on like a Cyclone Slayer in hardcore Southbound. That's something that's going to be a little bit tricky for me to pull off. And I believe that like without dying, I could pull off you know, Shadow Saboteur Trapper, a Lightning Trapper. So even though it might sound boring, I actually like incredibly enjoy playing this character. And I've been practicing it a little bit here and there when it comes to like, you know, speed leveling it a little bit. I don't necessarily think that I'll be like playing it as if like I'm in a race, even though I could a little bit up to like Act 5-ish. My timings are not that bad right now. Not that bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. But after Act 5, it drastically starts falling off because I do need a lot more practice, I think. I need to probably watch some content and see like what people are actually doing, because like what I am doing is not necessarily the good thing to do, I think. Um, but that said, like this character right here, so I'm going to be opening a Saboteur, it's going to be a Lightning Trapper, and I do believe that I'm going to be enjoying it. The stuff that are like shining about the Lightning Trapper is that it's an occasionally defensive character. You know, it's going to have the acrobatics, it's going to have the phase acrobatics, it's going to have the mind over matter, it's going to have occasion HP, at the very least around like level 80. It's going to have good mana, and it's very easy to like use. You know, it doesn't necessarily need like any sort of, let's say, auras or anything. You know, the mana consumption is really easy to like pull off. It's very easy to gear it up as well, and the DPS is kind of there from the beginning till the end of like what I want to do. I don't necessarily think that I'll be able to like scale it so high to a point where like I'll be okay in like red maps, but I don't necessarily want to do that with this character either. So I'll most likely like continue playing it until I die, and I really hope that I'm not going to be dying up until like level 90 or something. I'd like to get to, at the very least, what I would actually like to get to is like Uberlab trials completed with this guy. That would be a massive milestone in about like a day or two. Yeah. So the league is launching tomorrow, and it is 2 a.m. for me. If you look at the bottom right, the league is launching for me actually like at 10 p.m. So I'll most likely be streaming about like, you know, my usual normal stream times are like, you know, morning for Europe, and then that it continues about like 8 hours from that moment, and I stream every single day. Twitch TV/Malagant. Drop me a follow. You know, you don't necessarily need to like check it out all the time. You can just come by and say hi. That I would actually appreciate it. That said, though, from tomorrow, I think I'm going to be opening the stream for like a night stream. You know, I'll play a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be going for like a straight 20-hour stream from like the night till the morning or something like that. That's connected with the next day, obviously. But not necessarily. I think I'm gonna continue to like maybe 2 a.m., 3 a.m. or something, and then try to like get some good sleep and open the stream up at the regular time once again, which is going to be, you know, Saturday is about going to be like 11:30, something like that, I'm guessing, and then from there I could actually like pick it up and play for some time. Yeah, this weekend is going to be most likely quite hardcore for me. It's just not that like I don't want to mess around with the sleep schedule. I would like to go like, you know, slow and steady. Yeah, that's one thing that I could say. What are my aims when it comes to the content before like closing this video? As I said a little bit before, like about how the league is going. That's going to be like the most important part for me for the first month, I think. And on top of that, like especially self-found sort of tips, like what helped me out, what was good. um what can I tell right now when it comes to a tip is that, like, have something like this for yourself, whatever you're comfortable with. Doesn't necessarily matter like which ability is ridiculous looking right now. um if you're not necessarily, especially if you're in hardcore, if you're not necessarily, you know, experienced around that spell, if you're not necessarily experienced about leveling that ascendancy up, um then probably it's better to have like a league starter character, just like, you know, always in Path of Exile, and then afterwards transition into the guy that you would have actually liked to play. That is probably my tip that I can give right now. Nothing else. um so yeah, like afterwards I'll most likely be sharing a lot of build guides. You know, my build spreadsheet, it is going to be probably in the description of this video as well, about like the Forgotten Gods, Grim Dawn, and my builds and stuff. Now we are gonna have this tab on it as well. Yeah, it's gonna have like Path of Exile in it too. So you will be able to like find my Path of Exile builds if you would be interested anytime. Like whatever character I play in Legion is going to be on that list. So this is going to be the first one, but it's not necessarily complete. I'm guessing some people are going to be curious about like this. I'll share the, you know, pastebin, but it doesn't necessarily have like gems at it. It probably has like a low level items and stuff like that. I probably added to like C, but it was like, you know, not necessarily. This is no, there's no such character. So just look at the skills. Don't necessarily look at like the items or the flasks or like the skill combinations. Definitely don't look at those. Just the skills, you know, nothing else. So thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you next time with more on YouTube. Drop a like. Peace out, bros.